Awesome. Go.
Hola, buenos dias. We are the Pura Vida Panthers, represented by students from Harrison High School and Liceo de Puriscal Academy in San Jose, Costa Rica.
And in our group, we have a lot of people from Costa Rica, Yemen, Burundi, Mexico, and Germany. Within all these population, we've noticed a problem around the world that education is not where it's supposed to be. And with our collaboration together, we are able to narrow down to where we want to attack and implement our idea.
¿Quién será? No lo conozco.
Sorry. Hi.
Hola.
You don't speak English. So.
¿Cómo?
Oh, okay. So, hola, mi nombre es Sebastian, and I'm a part of a very important organization that helps people who are in need. So, I was wondering if you are interested in helping the cause.
¿Qué?
Okay, money, organization, plata.
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 Sí.
Okay. So I have a contract. If you don't mind, you can sign. Right here. Thank you very much. You're very nice. So I'm gonna take your wallet because I need the money for the kids.
¿Qué?
So bye.
Pero, no, mi plata, no,
Yeah, my
espere.
money, my dinero. Gracias.
Pues,
Hello? مرحبا.
Marhaba.
Do you speak English? عربي؟ تكلمي عربي؟ السلام عليكم. My name is Taha and اسمي Taha. As you can see, I am a popular guy in this organization that helps women like you that are having job difficulties. If you'd like, you could sign this contract and I can help you out with that. It's fine, yeah, just sign it. I got you. No. Just sign right here and you'll be fine. Alright, now if you can come with me, work for me for free. Let's go.
No,
Yalla.
stop.
My name is Chris. I'm a doctor. Would you like to sign up? Thanks. Don't get $1,000.
Free.
No,
Oh yeah.
stand
Oh yeah. In many countries, situations like this happen on a daily basis due to illiteracy or bad technical language skills. Overall, the missing access to quality education is the problem.
Therefore, we want to make a change by establishing a bot in function of a mobile school or library.
Thank you.
What you just witnessed is occurring to nearly 3 billion people on this earth. I'm not sure if you know about the learning gap between the rich and the poor, but we can put it into perspective. The poor families are 8 times less likely to be enrolled in school, and it still continues to be an undermined issue. We, the 21st century, have the open window to mend this gap and give education the power to eradicate poverty. Equity is a word that signifies justice and represents fairness. There's one aspect that is missing when we consider equity as a whole. In impoverished communities, that one aspect that is missing is the funding for education. You've heard of the domino effect, right? The lack of funding is the domino. If there is no funding for education, there's no materials, teachers, infrastructure, transportation, curriculum. It needs to be changed. So we did research and we found out if each developing country invests 15 cents per day for every child, we'll have a total of $39 billion towards this gap by 2030. So we want to bring awareness to equity by implementing a educational system that'll continue for the next generation.
Our main goal is to improve education all over the world. Not all sorts of education, not only literacy or also bilingual education, but all sorts of education, mathematical and all sorts of types of education. We have already picked where we're gonna start because it's a place that we know. we're starting in Costa Rica because even if 90% of the schools have English classes, only 10% of the population has actual proficiency in the language. And this is extreme. Why would that happen? We know it firsthand. Us, the students from Costa Rica, have seen the teachers, have seen the students, have seen the curriculum. That way, we know exactly what is going on and we know that it needs to be changed. That's why we have decided to get the solution. I want to give you first a phrase that we find very important. Once you teach someone how to read and write, you can never take that away from them. It does not only go with reading and writing, but all sorts of education. Once you teach someone something, you can never take education away from them. Which is why when you read and write, when you teach someone how to read and write, they can start picking up books and reading by themselves and then teaching themselves stuff. That's why we find that literacy and also bilingual education is what we should focus on right now because it helps people improve their life. We have decided to implement a mobile library in school inside the country. This mobile library will go to all sorts of places, a route in vulnerable areas that we know due to statistics and also first-hand knowledge that have a lower proficiency rate in this area. We not only want to do this in Costa Rica, we want to do it in the future in other countries and for other sorts of education because not only our country is important, other countries have problems too, but we want to start here because it's a place that we know.
Okay, so we know the situation in the whole country, but we're specifically gonna start in these towns that are called Mora, Puriscal, and Ruiz, because we live in there. We've experienced this issue firsthand. So the yellow circles are the districts we will visit for 2 to 3 months in each one, and we picked those because those are the most affected of each town. And then the blue lines are the routes we're going to take in order to be able to go from one district to another because they're all connected. But how are we going to do this? We have different parts to support our program. As part of CAS, a subject of the International Baccalaureate program we're in, we have to complete a service part. So we have the opportunity of go and have an interactive role with teaching, and so will the next generations, and it's something that can and will keep going on. And since we have already the connection with Harrison students, we can also, we plan to do like exchanges, something like that, so they can come to Costa Rica and help out too. And also, as part of the regular educational system, the students have to find an activity or work that has to do with social service. So the BOSS as a project is an excellent opportunity for them to really connect with other community and they can realize how the situation is in the country and in other countries. Also, we can count on university students who want to become teachers but don't actually have the experience. So we will be helping out both parts. And it works too with volunteers, such as people who already know how to teach, current teachers, retired ones, or people in general who are willing to help. Then in the part of partnerships, we have already 2 possible connections in Costa Rica. One is an organization eager to help in every necessity that a specific population has, that is called the Peace Corps. And the other one is an institution that is looking to make an impact, a real impact in English teaching, that is called the Cultural Center.
So, in order for our bus to be able to function properly, the layout is very important. And the way we planned on laying out the bus is by splitting it into 2 main sections. The front of the bus is going to be split into 6 other individual sections based on different learner styles, different ways that students or the people who come to learn on the bus learn, because not everybody learns in the same exact way. Not one same student is the same as another student. So we split it into spatial, auditory, linguistic, kinesthetic, mathematical, and then more social, either if that's interpersonal or intrapersonal. Like for me, for example, I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn best when I'm able to be hands-on with what I'm learning. But then you have other students who learn best by sitting down and taking notes and listening. So you want to be able to accommodate for all those different sections so the students can get the most out of our bus. And the back section is where we're gonna have more of like the computers and the books and things of that sort. Next, this is the budget. So we found different price points of all the items that we'll need. We found how much they would cost in Costa Rica, but we converted the money to United States dollars. A lot of these prices are one-time costs, so once you purchase that, it's there forever. You don't have to keep making another payment besides maybe the fuel. And a lot of these things we're already able to get because of the work that we have put in already, getting to know people and fundraising and things of that sort, as our colleague Kai will get to later on.
Okay, we already talked about why, where, and how, but what about the benefits? We are not talking about only the literacy rates and speaking a second language. It's more than that, because this will help enter in workforce. Then the knowledge will give you the opportunity to have a new world vision, because if you know something new, your world change. And we are not only talking about like if you see something like this and you read something new, this will change. And this will be help in reinforcing national culture of your country, because if you are a native, imagine you're a native and you don't know how to read and write, and you have to pass your knowledge to the other people, you're going to think in an oral way. But what happens if you put it in a grading way? It will be greater, because that will be forever. And the words, the winds take over, and the writing way will be forever for everyone who wants to know more. And if you know more, you're going to get deeper in knowledge. If you get deeper in knowledge, you're going to share your knowledge, and that will make a change. And that will make a change that we want to improve in Costa Rica, but not only Costa Rica, all around the world.
So now we have for the future fundraising. We already established fundraising. We already have made fundraising. We got grants. We have the TFA grant for 700 and an IB Arms grant for 500. And we also had a IB Day. We had an open air market where we got communities around our community donated clothes for us to sell at our school, which brought awareness to our project of what we're trying to do with the cause. And next we have our social media awareness. We've actually presented it at the IB Arms meeting, which helped us get aware of our knowledge of what we're trying to do and point it across to everybody. And our future goals is not only for like here. It's for Bolivia. We already have research on Bolivia, Guatemala. We just want to test it first in Costa Rica because we already have a connection established with them. We want to test to prove statistics to the other countries. See, this works. This will help implement. As we can see from the research we're going to conduct from now, what we have, and 2 years later, we'll compare to what have the bus affected them, as in literacy rate, fertility, poverty, crime rates. All of that is tied into education.
About a minute left. I want to step back and kind of show you guys our journey that we've had in the past 5 months. We initially met each other in October, and we were complete strangers. And I want to say we were kind of naive because we had no idea the hardships this was going to bring and how difficult it would be. But once we established our goal, it was nothing but passion from there, because we wanted to make sure this was a project that we wanted to see a change in. We genuinely care about the generation to come. So these are some pictures of educator research that we've done in Skype calls. And then the next slide is immersion of our cultures. We had an ID day where we sold our hoodies, we immersed in Costa Rican dancing, and our whole school got involved.
Thank you. And any questions?
Always, but it takes us a while to figure out.
First round of applause.
No.